In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to install some solid hardwood flooring. It's made by Bruce. It's 3 inches wide, 3 1/4. This is my first time installing solid hardwood flooring in my home. I've done laminate and vinyl plank, but I've never done solid wood, so this should be interesting. All right, let's get started. Let's get to work.
All right, so now we're installing the hardwood floor in my master bedroom. We're going to be using 3/4 inch Bruce hardwood. This is oak. Gunstock is the color. It's 3/4 inch thickness by 3 1/4. All right, so I'm going to be using an underlayment. It's a cork underlayment. That's Eco Cork Foam. You can use it under many different floors. It does say you could use it for wood floor, because I know a lot of people use this for floating floors. And they think it's not for hardwood, but you can use it for hardwood. And the reason why I need to do it in this bedroom is because I have a theater room just below this. And when that thing's thumping and the bass is going on real loud, you can hear it up here. You got vibration up here. So I want to use this as a sound deadener. And I'll show you what it looks like. 1/8 of an inch thick. It does have the moisture barrier. But when you're installing this on hardwood, you do not want to use the tape on the moisture barrier on the seams. It says, instruction says, do not tape it. So just leave it butted up to each other and don't use the tape. You want to have it to breathe a little bit. But yeah, other than that, it's pretty straightforward. You just roll it out. You can use staples or nails, whatever, to hold this down. See right here, it says for engineered wood, vinyl plank, and laminate flooring. It makes it seem like it's not for hardwood, but if you look at the instructions, it can be used for hardwood as long as you don't tape it. See this tape here? Most people will tape that. They'll peel this off and they'll put the next plastic over it. We're not going to do that. All right, so this is a waterproof underlayment, acoustical, which means it provides superior impact and airborne sound absorption. That's what I'm mostly needing it for. It's antimicrobial, protects tongue and groove connections. Comfort, R value, it does have some R value to it to make it a little warmer from because I don't have any insulation in my subfloor. That'll help out in here, keep it warm. 1/8 of an inch thick. It's eco-friendly, it's non-toxic, but that's important. Some of the other stuff is very toxic. All right, for all you old timers that have been doing wood floors for 20, 30 years, I know you're probably gonna watch this video and say, hey, you can't use cork foam for hardwood flooring. Per the instructions, when you flip it over, ECF is suitable for use with laminate, engineered wood, solid wood, and vinyl flooring. I don't know why the front doesn't have it there. It's just engineered wood, vinyl plank, and laminate flooring. It's very weird that it doesn't show it, but yeah, if you flip it over, it can be used for that. And the reason why I'm using this instead of tar paper doesn't have very much sound absorption, and it's full of VOCs. Like, I don't want to give myself cancer sleeping in a bedroom with a bunch of VOCs, you know, from tar. And what is tar made from? Gasoline, petroleum. It's a petroleum-based product. Okay, so that's not a good thing to be smelling. You can use rosin paper, but it has no moisture barrier in it, and it's not very cushiony. If your subfloor is messed up, you're not going to be making it any quieter. And if you look on YouTube videos, nobody uses this stuff hardly. I can find out one video of anybody using a cork foam, synthetic cork foam, for a hardwood flooring. So I just wanted to make this in the very beginning that it's perfectly okay to use it. And the only reason why I think people don't use it is because it is expensive. This 300 feet was about 200 bucks. Step 1, wood subfloor preparation. Assure the subfloor is level, free of dust. I already vacuumed. Dry and mold free. Remove all protruding objects like nails. Repair all defects in subfloor to create a smooth, even, leveled surface. I did that already. We're all good. It says start at the corner of the room, roll the underlayment with 6 mil vapor, bare facing up. But for wood subfloors, it is recommended that the side of the underlayment without the overlap be 0.5 inches away from the wall. Okay, so you're gonna leave a gap. You don't want it up, rolling up the wall. You're gonna leave a 1/2 inch gap from the wall. All right, so you see when you roll it out, it does say this side up. It's pretty hard to get this wrong. And I'm gonna put this little flap on this side because I'm gonna cut it off. And I put it the other side, it's gonna be hard to cut off. But normally if you're doing concrete, it'll be the other way around. I'm just gonna roll this out. And remember, we're gonna leave a 1/2 inch gap from the wall per the instructions so it can breathe. Okay. All right, so taping and sealing underlayment on all wood subfloors is not recommended. It says the use of any tape to entirely join and seal the length and or the width of the underlayment on wood subfloors may restrict needed airflow, which can potentially create moisture. So we're gonna just cut this off. I'm taking a razor blade and just running it down. It's real easy to cut off. Okay, just run it down. Because if I don't, it's gonna just be in the way. So it's just easier for me just to cut this off and be done with it. Pull that out and butt up the next piece. All right, so I'm using some underlayment nails, just real short ones. And I'm just tacking one in the corner there and one here. That's all you need for the whole thing. It's pretty heavy stuff. Doesn't need a whole lot. Make sure you don't have any wrinkles. One there, and then the rest will be, when you put your wood on it, the nails will go into that and it'll be secure. Next step, we could either chalk a line or you can go by your exterior wall. Exterior walls are pretty straight. The interior ones, watch out, because those ones, sometimes they add additions or add things to it. But this exterior wall is pretty straight, but I'm probably gonna chalk it anyway. But the gap, usually you want 3/4 to a 1/2 inch gap, no less than a 1/4 inch gap. So I got these spacers from Roberts. They got a 1/2 inch and 1/4 inch. I'm just gonna use a 1/2 inch and they slide right up in there. But I will chalk a line. We got, for a 1/2 inch, we're about 4 inches away. So I'm gonna chalk a line 4 inches off this wall and 4 inches down there. All right, I chalked a line and I got this first row as straight as I can. I actually put another dry fitted row onto that just so I can make sure everything's straight on the seams here. That'll actually straighten up your seams on the first row. And now I'm pre-drilling right here on the tongue and putting some fine trim head screws. These are 2 inch long. And I'm just running them right in there. I did try one on top. It worked okay, but it didn't countersink too well. So I think I'm gonna use some finish nails there instead. I put one there. All right, make sure that's nice and flush. That seems to work real good. And the top ones, I think I'm just gonna use my brad nailer up on top. All right, I wanna note something about when you're putting these screws in. Okay, in the tongue, do not overdrive them because all it will do is sink this wood deep into this foam, and then the next board will be hard to get in. These boards will be difficult to get in. So I just I set my drill to level, I think it was 8, so it wouldn't overdrive that through. And you can see over here, it's pretty good. It's my first one on to the one that's been, and I did brad nail the top with 16 gauge brad nails, 1.5 inches long or 1.75 inches, because I wasn't able to put those screws in where you're gonna see the hole. So I didn't want to see the hole. I'd rather have these little brad nail holes, and that should hold it just fine. Like over here, the first one I did, I'll show you, the 1/4 round, and this is 3/4 inch, 1/4 round. It won't cover that first screw. I'll see the head there. You could always fill that in, but the brad nails seem to be less noticeable. So now I'm going to start my second row, and I think now I could use the nail driver. I got a Husky that I bought. It's a 3-in-1 flooring nailer. I think it does staples or cleats. I'm doing cleats on this, 2-inch cleats. Yep, and we can get right in there now. Perfect. All right, ran a couple cleats in the first 2 pieces of wood. You can see it's nice and flush. Got about 75, 80 PSI. Air pressure. And that seems just about right. It's not going too far in and it's not sticking up. It's just right. All right, first row's done. It's pretty straight. That's the hardest part, is this first row. Getting that thing straight is hard. I know it's wood, you can bend it a little bit, but like right here, I bent the wood just a little bit here, this first one. And so the next one has a little gap right here. But I couldn't fix it unless I wanted to rip that one out. I said, heck with it. It's okay. It's a faint little gap. And once the next one's in there, it'll straighten back up. I already test fitted this one, and yeah, it'll be fine. But yeah, I definitely have to say that first row is the most pain in my butt, because if you don't get it straight, it's just all the other ones are gonna be a little bit off. This one's pretty straight here. All right, so I made a bit of a mistake. I cut off a long piece of the board where it was bad right here, and I forgot that I cut it, and I had set it off to the side to use as an end piece, and I ended up forgetting about it, and I nailed it down, went to put in my next piece, and realized, shoot, I can't put it in. Now I could cut this lip off and just probably put some glue there and stick it together. Instead of doing that, I decided to mark along the groove. Here's the groove, or the tongue, and I put a mark on the top of that groove going across and one at the bottom. And then I took my oscillating tool and went in there and cut it across. And I'm gonna try to chip that out so I can get this tongue in there. That way I don't have to rip the whole piece out. That's a good piece of board. I don't wanna break it. Because if you try to take these out, the tongue will break. All right, so once you do your cut with your oscillating tool and you cut the side here, you're gonna wonder, how am I gonna get that sliver out? Well, take a drill bit. I'm using 964, and I'm gonna drill as straight as I can right through there to try to get that to break off. Okay, I got a chisel. I'm try to break it out. And I got a center punch here too, so I can kind of just now, if this wasn't installed, I could run it through a router, which I have one, but you can't get the router around here when it's already installed. It won't work. Okay, I also ran the drill this way, going left and right to loosen up that wood that I already oscillated, and I just take this and work it, the chisel, just kind of break it. You want to be gentle, because it's hardwood. Oak is hardwood, but it's also a little bit brittle. And once you get a crack in it, the crack tends to keep going. So take your time if you do try this. If you did what I did and accidentally cut off one of your edges. Now if I cut it off and I wanted to use it, like again, I could just use a router, but I have to do it when it's not installed. Be able to run that router. At least the one I have. It's a trim router. Alright, so that looks like it's probably enough. I'll test it out and see if it fits in there. Alright, so you can see there's a nice groove in there now. Let's get a little sliver. Let's see. All right, so that method did work. You can see it fits right in there. Probably went a little bit deeper than I need to. That's fine. As long as you keep this top of the wood right here, keep that nice and thick. Don't leave it too brittle. Take too much from here, then it's gonna make it want to crack up here. Okay, and this is 3/4 inch hardwood, so there we go. I can continue on. And there we have it. There's that seam. It came out perfect. But yeah, it's coming out real good. I'm on this is my 3rd day, believe it or not, but first day I only did a couple rows just to get it started. Yesterday I worked on it just from, I think from like 2 o'clock to sundown. So I didn't work on it that long, but I got about, 6 feet out. And now today I'm starting to work on it some more. I'm taking my time. This is my first time doing wood flooring, so it's a learning experience, and I'm noticing that the wood is imperfect. Some of them are bowed, so when you put it down, some of them are impossible to get straight, even if you nail them, because they're so bowed. Some of them have splits in them, some of them are cracked, some of them have knots, so you got to really go through them. Now, if I was just a professional, I probably would just nail it up real fast, because I don't think they spend the time to really look at them too closely. They probably do, but not the way I am. I'm like really looking at them, each piece, and putting the bad pieces off to the side. I want to note a couple things. The width of these planks are not all equal. Okay, some of them are a little bit wider than others, so you got to be careful, because when you put them down and a little wider, you end up with a little more gap than you want. Like you'll get some that are like 3 1/4. And some will be like 3 1/4 plus 1 or minus 1. So you might think it's not a big deal, but let me see if I can find one. See, like right here. Here is a little bit higher, a little thicker, and that one was a little thinner. So when I went to push this in as hard as I could, you see there's still a tiny little gap there. And it's not a big gap, it might close in later when it expands and contracts, but still. So yeah, I'm gonna start measuring them or at least I'm gonna butt them up and see that if they fit before I put a whole row together, because it's kind of annoying to have a bunch of little gaps. I mean, it's real wood, it's gonna have gaps no matter what, but that's the one beauty of the hardwood floor is when you look at it, nothing is the same. The texture is all different. You got some low spots, some high spots. You can see the veins of the wood are all over the place. You got some of the wood is lighter than others. And I really like that. That's pretty unique about hardwood. I'll shut off this light and see what it looks like without it. All right, so it's a lot darker in here. So you see how dark it looks. Real wood is a really gorgeous floor. Originally, me and my wife were like, we don't like wood. Everyone does wood, but you know what? It's the most natural thing. It's got the least VOCs. It's the best thing to be breathing in a bedroom, anyhow. So this is my 3rd day. I'm about a little more than halfway done, and I gotta stop again because my neighbors are sleeping already, and that hammer nailer is really loud. But yeah, that's the only thing that's frustrated me is some of the planks are wider than others. I mean, yeah, some of them are broken and some of them are warped, like really bad. I put some warped ones here, or I put a bow on it, because when you try to problem with a bowing board is it curves like that. So what happens when you try to use it is it's touching here in the beginning, and it's touching at the end. So you can't hit it in because it's hitting both ends. So yeah, it's just really hard. Like when it's bowing the other way, I notice it's a little bit easier if it's just bowing the other way, because then I can hit one side in, and as I go, I can keep pounding it and pushing it in. And the nailer will actually push it in a little bit for you. But those bowed ones, man, forget it. Those are terrible. Now you might be able to turn them on the bowed side and put some weight on it and put it there for a few days. You might get the bows out of them because those are really long pieces. I'd hate to waste them, but yes, it is what it is. All right, for anyone that's doing hardwood flooring, you wonder what kind of nails I'm using. I'm using cleat nails. And you can see, this is the box right here, it's by DeWalt. It's 2 inches. And you get 1,000 in this little box, okay? And they're 16 gauge flooring cleats, okay? And this is what they look like. What's cool about these is it's got a large head here that looks like a staple, so it holds the wood better at the end when it catches. And it has little spikes there. See those spikes on it? Those spikes keep this nail from coming out and squeaking your floors. If you know you got a sound floor. I mean, the subfloor can squeak too underneath, but this will keep it from squeaking and keep the nails from popping out. So that was one of the complaints that I heard online, was this foam, you know, it's spongy. It's gonna, when you walk on it, it might have a little cushion to it. So as you walk on it, if you had a regular nail, it's gonna up and down. But these cleats, it doesn't allow it to, because these things are spikes. When you walk on it, it stays there real nice and almost like a screw. So that's one good thing about using these. I wouldn't use staples if I was doing this underlayment. No way. That would definitely not be good if you're using a cork underlayment. All right, enough about that, and back to work. Okay, I went through about 13 boxes, I believe, and I got most of the big pieces I used, and you see what I got left. I got a ton of little pieces. I don't really want to use a bunch of little pieces and have a bunch of small ones going across. So I think I'm going to open, I got extra boxes. I'm going to open up probably going to take me another 5-6 boxes to find some real long ones. I will use some of the small ones, but I don't want to use all the small ones going down. Yeah, it'd be nice to have one small one, a big one, maybe another small one and a big one. But I don't want just small ones going all the way across. This is 20 foot long. I started doing a little bit right here, some shorter pieces, and it looks okay. It just, I don't know. I think if I could use the long ones, it's a little better, a little nicer. And out of 13 boxes, these are the bad ones that are really bowed. Some of those are 5 foot lengths. So not too bad. And there, a little pile there, that first pile. Some of those had knots in them. Which I did use some of the knotty ones, but as long as they weren't like looking like they were gonna go, like this one had a little pinhole in it, and I said, gives it character. I'll put that one there. Yes. But if they had like this one, that one looks okay. As long as they're not deep. Like you see, I left this one. This one actually has a lot of character to it. Kind of like that one, so I left that one in there. And another little knot. It's not too bad as long as they're not, you know, deep or look like they're gonna split open. But I didn't have too many knots. It's amazing how you could get one piece of wood that's literally 1/16 of an inch smaller than the next one that you try to butt it up to, and you end up with a gap. So I had to rip this one out because I tried to put the next piece on it. I had a huge gap right here and I didn't like that, so I ripped it out, cut another piece, and look at that, this one's nice and flush. So I literally have to kind of measure each wood or try to pre-fit it before I put it in, or else you end up with a lot of gaps. Like I had one gap right here, see the gap? Another one here. This is probably the biggest one. This one right here. Hopefully when it expands and contracts, it'll fill back in later. All right, so I'm about 3 planks shy of hitting the wall. And on the 4th one over, this one right here, I can no longer use my nailer because it starts to hit the wall. Let me show you. See, I can get it on there barely, like right there, but you can see where I hit it, it's right on the wall. So I can't use this anymore. So I could either use my brad nailer and just do this. What I think is a little stronger are these fine trim screw heads like I used earlier. 2 inches what I'm using. I already pre-drilled all the holes. And I'm just gonna do these because I think these will hold a lot better than just brad nails. I think brad nails will just, over time, they can pop up. Now, if you wanted to, you could probably just get away with a few of these, maybe 2 at the end, 1 on each end, and brad nail at the center, or 1 in the center, and every other one, you could do a brad nail. But I think I'm just gonna use most of these screws. I just bought another pack of them. They're only like 12 bucks for 100, so it's not too bad. I think if you brad nail them all, especially with this foam, those things will lift up over time. So I think the screws are just better. So yeah, this is the very end of it. Over here, I could still use my gun right here. There's gonna be a point where you can't use your drill anymore because it's gonna hit the wall and you can't get the drills in. And so you might want to pick up one of these. It's by DeWalt. And this is just, it goes on your drill, just like that. And then you can get into tight spaces. So it'll look like that. Put your drill bit in. And it's pretty easy to use. Just like that. So what I do is I'm using my impact driver and driving it all the way in, and then I back it up and just snug it in so it doesn't overdrive it. Nice and flush there. You just don't want to overdrive these because these screws will really push it into the foam, and then the next one will be hard to get in. So just always back them up just a little bit and snug them. All right, I just cut under my door jambs, under my trim, because if you don't, and you try to just go like this, or it's like you're gonna have a huge gap there. So I undercut it, so when I put this last piece in, it can go all the way underneath, and then it looks a lot better. They could just caulk under there, a little gap. And I did that on this side too, and I did it over here. As you can see what it looks like once the wood's in. It's nice and flush. All right, finishing up some cuts around this border edge here. It's quite curved. So what I did was I took a template and I just kind of made a template out of it. Then you transfer that to the wood, use a jigsaw, cut that out. And I gotta cut a little bit more. I want a little closer than that, but get the idea. I'm gonna cut this edge just a little bit skinnier here. I ran this on my belt sander. Let's try this again. All right, that's more like it. I can live with that. And then I gotta take a quarter round and put cuts in it so I can wrap it around. Like up here, they cut lines through the wood so it will bend. Almost a ½ inch, quarter inch in some spots. That's plenty. And you can see over here, I did cut the door jambs underneath, and then I didn't cut this side because I just didn't feel like it. And it's in the inside of this walkway, which you never see. So I'm just gonna caulk here but the front sides in the room, they're nice and flush. Same over here. I did cut under the trim here, so it slid right up under there. That looks so much better than just butting it up, especially when you, like, you can get your cord around here, but if you have to put cord around here, it doesn't look right. And I'll show you on the inside. Same thing over here. I didn't cut this frame here. I'll just caulk this part here, and this is the inside of the closet, so you don't even see it. All right, got another one cut. Same thing, little template. It's pretty good, huh? Right there, yeah. That's about a 1/4 inch gap there. Should be good enough. All right, just finished up the last few pieces here, which were probably the hardest pieces to do because I had to put this one in and I cut the door jambs. So I had to go under here, slide all the way to the wall. And on this side, I cut the door jambs too. So I was like, once I got this one in, how was I supposed to get this piece in? So what I did is I kind of loosened this one up a little bit, and I was just barely able to lift it up a couple inches. And then I took this one, I went under it to slide it in. I used a screwdriver, just tap it over. And then I put this one back down. I had to cut the lip off, the bottom lip, because it was hitting. So I just cut it off with my oscillating tool. And then I put some glue on it, on the tongue, and then I just pushed it on down. It was perfect. And it's a real tight fit from left to right, so it ain't going anywhere. And then I just got one little sliver left to do, and I'm done. Over here I had this one piece here. Now the last piece over here, I didn't cut under the door jamb here because it was the last piece. No matter what, you're gonna probably have to caulk this side. So I just decided to caulk it right there and be done with it. It's gonna be in a place where I don't see much. And you can see I just have that one sliver to do, but I'll do that later because the table saw's in the garage and I got my car in there. It's not much room, but yeah. This thing is finished. It's looking real good. I still have to paint my trim in here, but yeah, this hardwood is done. It's beautiful. I did notice when I put that last piece in, I put it with no foam insulation under it, and it was a lot harder when you step on it. This one piece here. Okay, when you step on that, you can really feel how solid it is compared to in here. In here, because it has the foam cork, it feels a little bit cushionier. And not only that, if I have my feet bare and I walk on this, even in the winter, I mean, there's snow outside and my feet are not cold. Even on a snowy day, you can't really see the snow out there, but yeah. So yeah, adding that foam insulation has many benefits. Keeps your R value up, keeps it warmer. It's softer when you walk on it, keeps it the acoustics down, keeps the sound down. I still haven't tried the theater room yet, but I'm gonna try that next and see if I can really hear it like it was before. But yeah, this is a wrap. This is the end of the video. That's my floor. It's my first time doing wood floor. Done all the other types of floors, just never done wood. And yeah, it wasn't too bad, other than the little end pieces. Other than that, it's anyone should be able to do it. And last thing I'll do here is get something like this for the transition, and I'll put it up over there. This one's a little bit big, I have to cut it, but that'll be the end to the transition right here, going to the other wood. And when you close the door, you can just barely see it about an inch in, so that's not too bad. like, share, subscribe. Take care. Alright, let's check out this room now that it's all finished. Got the floor done. I got most of my furniture in my room. And it's looking really nice. Beautiful floor. So anyways, that's my room. I mean, I got my bed in here. Got a carpet laid out. It's funny because everyone that does hardwood, they always end up putting a big old carpet covering up their hardwood, but it's okay. Next, the only thing I gotta do is I gotta hang my TV right here. Probably put it up there in the air and get rid of some of these tools. But yeah, that's a wrap for this video. Thanks for watching. That's my first time installing a solid hardwood floor in my master bedroom of my house, and it came out really beautiful. I think it's really nice. So like, share, and subscribe to my channel if you like this type of content. All I do is make videos of me restoring my home and fixing up things on the home that break or rooms that I have to renovate. All right, take care. God bless.